My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes we hold on too tightly to things that were never meant to stay. We grip pain, disappointment, and unanswered questions as if clinging to them will somehow give us control, as if replaying what happened will change the ending. But the truth is, the more we hold on, the heavier our hearts become. Life was never meant to be lived with clenched fists. It was meant to be lived with open hands, trusting that what Allah takes away, He replaces with something better, even if we can't see it yet. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you forget. It means you choose peace over pain, growth over resentment, and faith over fear. When you let go of what's out of your control, you make space for Allah to move in your life. You stop trying to play the role of the author when you are only meant to be the reader. Reading each chapter with patience, trusting that the story is written perfectly, even when the pages are filled with tears. There are moments when you'll feel like you've lost something valuable. A person, an opportunity, a dream you prayed so hard for. And in that loss, your heart will ache, asking, why me? But if you pause and truly reflect, you'll see that sometimes what you lost was never truly yours. Sometimes what felt like an ending was just Allah's way of protecting you from something unseen. That relationship that ended, that door that closed, that moment that broke you, all of it was part of a divine plan that's shaping you into who you're meant to become. When you release what's not in your hands, you'll feel something incredible. Lightness, the kind that fills your chest when you finally say, Ya Allah, I leave it to you. Because the truth is, no matter how much you analyze, cry, or question, you can't control everything. What's written will reach you, what isn't written never will. And that's not something to fear, that's something to find peace in. So when your heart feels heavy from overthinking, from trying to hold on to people or moments that keep slipping away, take a deep breath and remind yourself, Allah sees what you can't. He knows the pain you don't speak of, the weight you carry in silence, and the tears that fall when no one's watching. Trust Him enough to let go. Trust that He won't let your surrender go to waste. Sometimes the strength you need isn't in holding on, but in letting go, gracefully, quietly, with faith that whatever leaves your life was never meant to destroy you, only to direct you. Because when you finally let go, that's when Allah's mercy finds room to flow in. And that's when your heart finally whispers, peace. Forgiveness is one of the hardest things the heart can do, yet it's one of the most beautiful acts in the sight of Allah. We often carry wounds from people who never said sorry. From words that cut too deep, from betrayals that left scars. We replay what they did, how it felt, and why they never cared. As if holding onto the pain will somehow make them understand. But in truth, it only hurts us more. It's like holding a burning coal, hoping the other person gets burned, when in reality, we are the ones left with the pain. Forgiving someone doesn't mean what they did was okay. It doesn't mean you have to forget or let them back into your life. It simply means you choose to free your heart from the burden of hate. You choose to stop letting their actions live rent-free in your mind. Because every time you replay that pain, you give it new life. Every time you think about revenge, you let the wound bleed again. But when you say, I forgive for the sake of Allah, you're not letting them win. You're letting yourself heal. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, whoever pardons and makes reconciliation, his reward is due from Allah. Imagine that Allah Himself promises to reward those who forgive. That means when you forgive, you're not losing anything. You're gaining peace, you're gaining reward, and you're gaining Allah's closeness. Because forgiveness is not about them. It's about you, your heart, and your connection with your Lord. Sometimes the hardest person to forgive isn't someone else, it's yourself. We look back at our mistakes, our regrets, our wrong choices, and we keep punishing ourselves for them. But Allah is Al-Ghaffar, the most forgiving. If He can forgive you, who are you not to forgive yourself? Let go of that guilt. Let go of that shame. You've repented, you've cried, you've learned. Now it's time to move forward. Allah's mercy is far greater than your sin, and His love is deeper than your pain. When you choose forgiveness, you choose freedom. You stop being a prisoner to what happened. You stop letting people's actions dictate your emotions. You stop reliving the moment that broke you and start living the moment Allah heals you. Because forgiveness isn't about forgetting the past. It's about refusing to let the past control your future. And one day, when your heart finally lets go of all that bitterness, you'll feel a softness inside you, kind that comes when Allah fills your soul with peace. You'll realize that forgiveness wasn't a favor to them, it was a gift to yourself. A gift of calm, clarity, and closeness to the one who never wronged you. So forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. There comes a time when holding on no longer feels like strength, it just feels like exhaustion. You've done all you could, said all the prayers, cried all the tears, and still nothing seems to move. That's when you realize that faith isn't about forcing things to happen your way. It's about surrendering and saying, Ya Allah, I trust you even when I don't understand. That's what Tawakkul truly is. Trusting Allah completely while doing your best and leaving the results entirely to Him. When you start walking with Tawakkul, life changes. You stop chasing what runs away and start believing that what's meant for you will always find its way back. You stop fearing loss because you realize that nothing slips away unless Allah allows it. And if He allows it, then it must be for your good. Even when your heart breaks, even when your plans collapse, even when you don't see the wisdom behind the pain, He does. And His plan for you is far kinder, far wiser, and far greater than anything you could plan for yourself. There's a quiet strength in moving forward when you don't have all the answers, in smiling even when things feel uncertain. Because that's when Allah's presence feels the closest. In the moments when you let go of control and say, you decide for me, Ya Rab. It's in those moments that you truly feel the weight lift off your chest. The future doesn't feel scary anymore because you know who's already written it. Sometimes we think Tawakkul means doing nothing, but it's not. It's doing everything that's within your power with sincerity, effort, and prayer, and then handing over the outcome to Allah without anxiety. You keep walking, not because the road is easy, but because you know who's walking beside you. Even if the world doubts you, even if everything falls apart, your heart remains steady, because it's anchored in something far deeper than worldly certainty. It's anchored in divine trust. Every test you go through is not meant to break you, but to bring you closer to Allah. Every delay, every heartbreak, every unanswered prayer is His way of saying, wait, I have something better. And sometimes what's better isn't a different outcome. It's a stronger you. A heart that's softer, a soul that's wiser, a faith that's deeper. When you move forward with Tawakkul, you stop begging for signs and start living in surrender. You start realizing that Allah's timing is perfect, even when it feels late. You learn to rest your heart in His promise, that after hardship, there is ease, and that every closed door is just leading you to a better one. Because when you walk with trust, you never walk alone, and that is where peace begins.